Well, hey everybody, Coach Gary Micheloni here. I want to welcome you to another another event, another episode of Always Be Marketing, our marketing boot camp recorded February 26th of 2016. Glad you are here. Quick little bit of housekeeping if we can get this done here. Let's see. Okay, just a reminder that you are on this webcast or this you're watching this video because you're a subscriber to our mailing list. Don't ever unsubscribe because bad things will happen and you won't get any of the good stuff that we send out to you, and that would be a darn shame. So the marketing event is going to begin right now, so I will encourage you to take notes and to stick around because we have some free gifts, and you don't have to stick around very long because this will not be a very lengthy presentation. I want to get a little bit of information out to you, and I talked about it in the photon, but we need to embellish on a little bit more. So here's what we're going to try to do it this way by using some video. So hopefully we'll find out whether a picture is truly worth 1,000 words or 1,000,000 words. So here's the question, as you saw in the photon: does Mr. Google have it in for you? And what in the world am I talking about? What does that mean? Why did I even say that? Well, look, let's begin first by doing a quick recap. Let's take a look at the way that searching happens for your business. All right. So the thing is, these days, most people begin their searching in one place. When they're looking for help, they don't go to the yellow pages. They don't go to the newspaper. They look one place, and you know what that is. It's online. Now, we've talked about this a number of times in previous webinars, in previous Marketing Corner articles of mine on the photon. So this should not be news to you. And plus, just being out in the world, you know that this is how people find stuff these days. And you can love the internet, you can hate the internet. It is a fact. It's what it is. But these days also, because it is so prevalent in terms of the way that people find you, some things become very, very important. One is that your website has to be mobile friendly. We've chatted about that before, and another is that realize that the reason that it has to be mobile friendly is because right now the majority of searches are happening online. Excuse me, they're happening on mobile phones. And so it's important that your website display in such a way that it works for someone who's searching for the kind of service or product that you have. Very important stuff. So for instance, let's take a look at this. People search this way. And we've got a bunch of different types of businesses that are on our list of friends that we send these the photon and these webinars out to. But for instance, home inspectors and people who do infrared imaging and they do the infrared imaging in a number of different types of venues. So someone who is a home inspector in Boca Raton, Florida, that might be the keyword phrase that's really important to him. If you know, and these are things, by the way, guys, you need to test this. When somebody contacts you, it's critical that you ask them, how did you happen to find me? Appreciate the phone call, but how did you happen to find me? And then routinely the person's going to say something like, well, you know what, we found you on the internet. Well, don't let it go with that. You follow that on immediately by saying this: hey, would you do me a great big favor, please? I know you said you found me on the internet. You found me on Google or on YouTube. Do you recall what you might have typed into uh, Google or YouTube in order to find me? It would just be very, very helpful to me. Do you recall what that is? And you know what? A lot of times they still have the computer open. They can tell you exactly what it is. Write these things down. Track these things. It's very, very important. So the home inspector guy in Boca Raton, Florida, might find that maybe people didn't type in home inspector. Maybe they typed in home inspection. That would be good to know, and you would probably get a better response if you use the keyword phrase inspection over instead of inspector. Believe it or not, it'll make a difference. So to know what it is that people are asking about. Maybe people are typing in building inspection instead of home inspector. Or roof inspection. Okay, find that stuff out. Uh, for the guy who is doing clinical imaging in Dallas, that person might be doing whole body imaging. They're doing breast thermography, that sort of thing. You need to find out what those keywords are. And you notice also that we're looking for local intent here. We want to know what people are searching for, and we want to know the cities that they are searching in. If you live in a little suburb of Dallas, as opposed to Dallas City proper, you just want to know that. It's just the more intel you can have on this, the better your search results will be. If someone is looking to buy infrared cameras, maybe they're searching for FLIR, but on the other hand, maybe somebody saw a TV newscast and they talked about the forward-looking infrared radar camera, the FLIR camera, and that becomes actually a very popular search term. So again, find out what it is exactly that people are searching for. And when people are looking for help with roofs, it's not necessarily just roofs in, I have Dallas, Texas again here, but it's not just roofs there, but maybe it's roof leak thermography, maybe it's infrared roof leak detection. There's a lot of different possibilities. The point is, you need to find out. You are responsible for finding out, and if you don't find out, you put your business in peril. And by knowing these things, these best keyword phrases, that will put you onto the top of the search pages, and you need to be on page 1 of Google. I'm only going to talk about Google because Google and YouTube collectively account for over 2/3 of all internet searches. So we're only going to talk about Google. If you get Google right, you get the rest of them right. So let's take a look at something here. Being number 1 is important. Being on page 1 certainly is important. But let me show you something that's kind of fascinating, I think. Now this is a survey done by Chitticut, and here's what this is showing. And I just want you to remember this. I want you to burn this in your brain. This is how terribly important this is. So what this is showing is these numbers across the bottom. These are search positions. I'll show you what I'm talking about here in a minute. But whenever you do a search for something like, what did we just say? We said home inspector, Boca Raton, Florida. You're going to have a listing of your page is going to show 15 odd, actually more than that, 20, 25 search results. So here's the thing: you want to be, if it's possible, you want to be at the top of the page. More people will respond to that. And here's the proof. Position number 1. This is right here. Position number 1 will get it'll get right about 33% of all searches. People who search for a keyword phrase, they will then click on the business on the #1 ranked entry on page 1 on that page. Now check this out. This is what's important. Position #2 is about 18%. You see that right here? It's about 18%. So there's a precipitous drop off, shall we say, about 15-point drop if you're on position 2. So the trick is to get someone to find the page that has your results on it, but then also is to get someone interested enough in your ad that they will see your ad and click on it. And 15% of the people that get to that keyword search term, the home inspector in Boca Raton, only 15% would click on this ad right here versus 33% here. The guy that's in position 3 looks like about 12%. All right. Position 4 is about 8%. See how this drops off here? So we're getting down right now. If you're in position #6 on the page, you are at about only 5% of all the traffic to that page will think about clicking on you. Then this flattens out quite a bit. But this becomes very important for the reason that I was the premise for the video was that Mr. Google is changing the deal, and it could be making things a little bit tougher for you. And I want you to be aware of this. All right. So here's a screenshot of a Google results page. This is a couple years back because the results pages don't look like this anymore. I'll see if I can pull one up for you here in a minute, but the screenshot shows these entries on the top here. See where it says ad. These are Google AdWords ads. These are paid ads up here. And there used to be that Google would put as many as 3 ads up here. They would put as many as 8 ads along the right-hand side. And then at the bottom, oops, let's see if I went by too far here. And then below this, below these top 3 ads, there was a listing of maybe 8 what we call organic ads, so non-paid ads. And then Google would then stick up to 3 more paid ads below this block here. So there could be, there were in a lot of cases previously, there were 3 plus 8, which is 11 plus 3, 14 paid ads on there, and there were maybe about 8 or so organic or unpaid results on there. All right, now that it has changed, and again, it's important we take a look at this because I want you to remember the positioning. All right, so you think about that screenshot we just took a look at. So these guys here would account for the top three or 4 ads on the top of Google. Now everything else gets pushed down. So you just need to be aware of that your results, unless you do something about this, your results are going to suffer on account of this. All right. Oops, what do we do here? So let's try something here. Let's try going to the internet. Let's do a search for, we're going to try to, if I can get on there okay here. We'll see how this goes with GoToWebinar. But we're going to do a search for cosmetic dentists in San Diego and Ford dealers in San Diego, and we'll see how this goes. Okay, let me see here. This could prove interesting. So here's what I'm going to try to do. So we're going to type in here, cosmetic dentists, San Diego. Now this is going to be current results because we're looking at this right now, all right? So cosmetic dentists, San Diego. I realize none of you guys are dentists out there, or only a few of you, but what I want you to see is, let's see here. Okay, Google switches things around all the time. What they're showing here at the top of this page are Google Maps things. Oh, you know what? So let's talk about this. Here's another phenomenon that's taken up space that used to go to uh, unpaid listings. So these are called Google Maps, or another way to look at this is they call it also Google My Business. The point is there are uh, there's space that's now allowed on these results pages to put Google Maps that feature local businesses. So right now Google Maps they're taking up a lot of the space at the top. Here's the what do we have? We have 10 unpaid ads, and then below that you can see we have some more um, paid ads for cosmetic dentists. So, but the important thing to realize is everything gets scooted down the page, and Google is giving precedence to the things that Google likes and Google gets paid for, which are their ads primarily. Let's do for grins. Let's do Ford dealers in San Diego, Ford automobiles. Okay, so again, here's the dilemma. So they're showing now here, Google is showing 2 paid ads, then the Google Maps stuff here, and then way in the heck down here is the first unpaid ad. All right, and they list about 10 of those ads, and then there's 3 more paid ads at the bottom. The thing is that the paid ads are taking up an awful lot of space, and it impacts your business because people have a tendency to be very impatient and to go for the things that that are the easiest to get to, the quickest to get to. And what you're seeing on the screen right now, this is what we call above the fold. So this is stuff that you can look at when you open up the computer without having to do any scrolling. People have a tendency to pick from the stuff that's right in front of them. That's why your business way down here, if that's where your results are, it's an issue. It's a problem for you, a potential problem, and you need to deal with that in some kind of a way. So let's see if we can go back here and go back here. Let's see how this works. Okay. So we survive that. So again, remember the positioning things. Here's where all of the visibility is. Here is where the unpaid ads that a lot of us have tend to be, is down here. So we have to make allowances for that. There's ways to deal with this. I just want you to realize that if it turns out all of a sudden, and this change just went into effect about 1 week ago, I'll say about mid-February, in case you're looking at this later. But it's a very new change, and if you're seeing drops in your response to your ads, that could account for part of it. Okay, so let's do this the right way. Okay, so there's always things to do. It's not so much about what you do, but that you do something. So I don't want you to just sit back here, take that and say, that's interesting. It's all about taking action. And so I'm going to encourage you to do that. One way that you can take action is if you have not yet gotten it, I have a resources guide, and in that resources guide, this is a free thing that we offer to everybody. So I list in there a lot of the resources that I use, things that I know work really well. And whatever we use to do newsletters and press releases, the most important social media sites, that stuff is all in there. And if you have questions on these things, you can contact our office, and you can certainly leave a message for me. I'm in here a lot, but you're welcome to call. If you're a member, you can actually get an appointment with me to discuss your marketing plan for your business. And again, the way to get this, whether you're a member or a non-member, just send an email, say something on it like, you can send it to this address, Gary@unitedinfrared.com, but then just say something like, I need the resource guide, and I'll send it out to you. That's all you got to do, all right? And in the resource guide, if you remind me on there, just say also something like, hey, Gary, I need help with Google Maps. I need to learn how to claim my business page. That's that big gaping hole in the middle of the results page that three businesses have. You need to get your business there, claiming that space. And again, there's ways to do it. So a lot of stuff to consider. I understand that. But I want you to realize there are workarounds for this. There are things that you can do to be proactive. So take action. The March Photon should be out the first week in March, so definitely look for it. And just look for me. Anyway, glad you found us. Look forward to talking with you, sharing with you some more, and glad you are a part of our get together here at the Marketing Bootcamp. So that said, for United Infrared, I'm Coach Gary. Thanks for dropping by. You take care. And now here's to a huge 2016, everybody, starting right now. Bye now.